Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Few apologies up front. I'm sick as a dog, so I might have to pause every so often and blow my nose. I'm recording on this microphone because mine's at the office and I can't even, for the life of me, tell exactly where the autofocus bar is. So it might be out of focus for the whole video, but we're just going to cover a few different topics in my regular sprawling fashion. I got a few things to get off my chest, a few important updates. We're going to start with the good. The Fall of Reach trading cards have absolutely blown expectations out of the water. We only have 18 copies left at the time of recording this video. That means 82 of them have sold. 82 copies. Originally, the Fall of Reach trading cards were going to be a set of 50, and now we've expanded to 100 to meet capacity, and it's a non-profit venture. Every single penny earned from this whole endeavor, these trading cards, go back into making them as dope as possible. We've funded enough to make round corners on all of the cards, and I'm also looking into holographic variants as well, so really exciting stuff. I'm going to actually, at the end of this video, showcase some of the new details I've added to the card, so stay tuned to the end for that. But first, we're going to cover a few things in my regular fashion. So, basically, like, the crux of this video, the main through point is how to not give a damn about unfortunate events and unforeseeable circumstances and people being a pain, how to just move on and enjoy yourself, and how to look forward with hope and optimism. Because, you know, if we're looking at the situation with Mega, pretty bleak, but there could be hope on the horizon. It came from the weirdest source. I can't believe I'm actually quoting this movie, but my girlfriend and I watched K-pop Demon Hunters the other day, which was a wild ride. And there was a quote in there that I actually had to write down because it was so damn good. And it is, "That's the funny thing about hope. Nobody gets to decide if you feel it. That choice belongs to you." And I really actually thought about this quote for a long time, because basically the last 2 years have been a ridiculous roller coaster, and something that, like, I've had to really, like, talk through in therapy from time to time, because let's be honest, over the last year and a half, Mega Bloks Halo has been completely stripped of its identity and purged off all of the websites, and it seems like Mattel is, hell-bent on torching the entire fan base. And that is obviously something that has been very difficult to process. There's a very good chance that Mattel comes back with Mattel Brickshop Halo. I still am quite, I have some belief in that. But right now, just like seeing how much this has changed in the course of a year and a half is very disheartening. And that's obviously no surprise. I think that's a really rational and reasonable thing to say. Especially, we have no news of no news. We have no news of sets, and all the websites are gone. And it does tug at the old heartstrings still. And it's something that you have to come to terms with and think, do I need to give as much of a damn about this? And I think the conclusion will usually be no. If something, if anything has been taught to me over the last year, particularly the last few months, it's that the thing that I loved the most about Halo Mega by far was the community. And it always was. And I know that's something that I probably could have told myself years ago, but it's particularly in light of not having new sets. Like, don't get me wrong, I love more than anyone to go hunting in Toys R Us, RIP Toys R Us, and, posting reviews and posting comparisons, making big dioramas with new sets. I love everything about it. I love new leaks, even though I don't cover them on the channel. I love getting excited about new product. But, I've had more enjoyment over the last 6 months than in recent memory with this hobby. Like, I had a lot of fun with this during lockdown when I was like rediscovering this channel. But then this channel just became way too much of a job, particularly the fact that it was like I was relying on the income of the ad revenue during hard times in my life financially. And it was tough, obviously, seeing Halo Infinite not come out of the gate running and everything sort of fall apart from then on, because Halo Infinite being delayed, make no mistake, is the core reason that we've seen all these issues. And it just, I've had a hard time with it. I have. But, making product reviews was never my passion in this community. And I've found that my passion with archiving is arguably it's the most excited I've ever been about content, like making new discoveries in our group chats and collating that information, then presenting it. Even though I've not done as much as I wanted to by August, it is still the most fun I've had with content since, since Halo Infinite was just around the corner, running up to that, that hype just before launch, I was doing some really fun, crazy projects. And since then it's been hard to motivate myself, hard to get the community excited, because obviously it has felt like a betrayal, the way things have gone, the way things have played out. Now, I do believe that hope is something that you choose to have. We are 1 month away from potentially a soft rebrand and relaunch of Halo. I mean, the Halo World Championship Series, last year it was the highest attendance ever. This year they sold out and they've just added more tickets, and they've clearly announced that they're going to reveal the new projects next month at the end of October. So we're about 6-7 weeks out, and it is time to get excited about that. I think it is, and I think I'll get to that point, and if they don't deliver, I'm just gonna be okay with that. I've got a lot of I just enjoy a lot of my life outside of Halo, and I still enjoy Halo Infinite all the time. It literally just got Invasion this week. There's no playable elites, but it still got Invasion, and I've just started Helldivers 2. I'm really enjoying that. And really, the passion that I feel alongside other archivists right now, to me, is more excited than I was from new product releases in 2022. And I don't expect everyone to share that enthusiasm. I'm sure everybody wants new products, especially the fact that no new products drive up prices of old products, and it does snowball like that. Everybody wants new product. But right now, I think you just have to choose how you deal with these situations. You just deal with these issues. For example, last week I made a hugely passionate video, a 39-minute expose into the old portfolios of graphic designers from Mega Blocks. And the video was copyright struck because of a teeny tiny image that I don't think I even referenced. I might have mentioned it in passing once. Teeny tiny image in the middle of a massive cluster, and the owner copyright struck the video, and that video is gone now. Do I believe that copyright strike was valid? No. I mean, yes, in terms of should I remove the video? Yes, I've removed the video because I've respected the decision of that individual, but do I think it was the right move from that individual? No. But, hope is one of those things. I've found as a content creator throughout the years, there are always huge hurdles and always things that are far less than ideal, particularly with the last couple of years with Mega. And sometimes you can always have that choice in life. You can always think, why is this happening to me? This is just you can always let the negatives in life pull you down, always. And that has happened to me in the past, but I am manifesting not giving anywhere near as much of a damn as I used to, because the reality is I can put my hands in the air. Right, that 39-minute video, was it a passion project? Was it something that I put a day of my life into? Yes. But was all the information there? No. I'm going to come back and I'm going to make an even stronger and better video, and you better believe I will never use an asset from that individual again. Lord. So yeah, it's one of those. It's the funny thing about hope. You get to decide if you're hopeful about something in life. And let me, speak more broadly to the utter chaos that is going around in the world right now. Like this sea, this like never-ending churning of absolute utter BS, and you have to decide what you want to do with that information. I think the difference between this generation, well, I know the difference between this generation and any generation before is our unlimited, unfiltered access to knowledge and to information and to news, because we have just compared to the amount of information that our even the previous generation, our parents, could have consumed compared to us, is almost incalculable. We have access to all of time and space at our fingertips. And with that, access to every single negative, corrupt, BS thing that is happening in the world. And you have that choice. It may not seem like a choice a lot of the time because it's so easy to be drawn into this this terrible cycle of information. And it's good to be knowledgeable. It's good to be knowledgeable at a local level and action things and vote. But in a broader picture, knowing every terrible thing that's happening in the world is just not productive. It's not relevant, and it will destroy you if you're not careful. And I think the best way to combat that is seek out positive information. The thing about the algorithm is people might feel like the algorithm just feeds negativity, and it does, but it feeds what you have chosen to allow it to feed you, right? On YouTube, if you suddenly feel like you got a little bit interested in politics once, and then suddenly your whole feed is politics, it's very easy to undo. Constantly click the triple dots and say don't recommend this channel, not interested. Do that 50 times, and then it'll start recommending something different. And then search up, there's a YouTube channel, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but just search weekly good news. There's an unbelievable amount of good stuff happening in the world right now. Real problems being solved. There's in Japan, they're developing a new kind of a new kind of plastic that reacts to salt and will just dissolve in the oceans naturally and leave no trace. There's tons of good stuff happening, but you have to seek it out. So for me personally, there is good and there is bad. There is a takedown of a 39-minute passion project. That's bad. And then there's the Fall of Reach trading cards, a non-profit community project that has sold out beyond belief. We have a huge budget now to invest into these cards. I could focus on the fact that all of these cards, I'll now have to incur more costs onto myself because of the tariffs, because the majority of these cards, or probably half of them, were sold when there weren't any tariffs, and now there are tariffs. So I have to pay tariffs on all those old cards. Or I could focus on the fact that I have a big budget and I'm going to be fine and I can eat costs if I need to. It's all about how you focus your attention. I think this a lot when I look at, sometimes I just peek into Twitter just for a second, and then I immediately close the lid. And Twitter is a fascinating place because it is now monetizable to farm hatred and clicks, and that's an awful thing. But Twitter, recently, there was a new statue that was commissioned for the 343, the Halo Studios office in Seattle, and it arrived, and it was Halo 5 Master Chief. It seemed to be a replication of the bookends that came with the Halo 5 Guardians Legendary Collection or Limited Collection, whatever. And this statue got so much hate in the comments section because it was the ugly art style, and Halo Studios has ruined Halo. They've abandoned us. They've betrayed us. Man, Halo Studios has been making insanely solid updates for a year now. And even the Hayabusa, every time the Hayabusa helmet gets brought up in conversation, everyone hyper focuses on the fact that it comes and goes from the shop. So it's FOMO, but at the same time, it's earnable with credits. You can earn it through playing the game. I feel like life is all about, it's all about a filter. It's all about how you choose to direct your energy towards a situation. Could we be negative beyond belief to the state of Halo Mega and Mattel? Absolutely. But is it worth anything to do that? Like, are we putting any real pressure on the company other than I'm locking in anger myself, and I don't think it's helping. Like, I think it is better to just move forward in a positive way as much as we can and focus on the back catalog and embrace and focus on archiving, because there's a very real chance that all of this information is forgotten about. If, megaconstrux.com and Mega Unboxed are gone. So it's focusing on archiving and what enjoyment we can find from that. Because what's the other option? If someone can explain it to me and not sound like that option is going to cause me misery, then, so be it. I mean, one other option is walking away from the hobby. You're welcome to. I don't recommend it. I love this hobby. I still do. I love it all the time. I pick up my old figures and I still feel a passion towards it. But like, looking back at the old catalogs, another example, you can choose to focus on what once was and how badly we've gone in the wrong direction, or you can embrace it and enjoy what was. It's like the what's the saying? Smile because it happened, don't cry because it's gone, or something like that. So yeah, a funny thing happened to me 3 weeks ago, and I'm starting to get like deadly paranoid that I've not been in focus the entire time. A funny thing happened to me the other day, which is relevant to this conversation. So my, am I still in focus? My girlfriend and I went to Croatia. No, we didn't. We went to Crete the other day on holiday. It was our first vacation together. I met my girlfriend, re-met her a year ago. She is my childhood sweetheart. I've had a crush on her for a couple of decades. We reconnected last year and it's been beautiful. It really has. And we went on holiday for the first time together, holiday abroad. And at the airport, when we were about to board the plane, I entered the code on my phone incorrectly a few too many times because I'd had a beer and I was just feeling excited for the holiday, and I locked myself out my phone for the entire holiday. And there was a huge sense of dread that filled my body and stress for about, certainly the whole flight. And then once we got to Crete, and it's one of these things, like, I could have focused on how much of an inconvenience not having my phone was for the entire holiday, because we lost access to booking.com, so we had to just appear at the reservations and just try and get in. Like, there was a ton of real issues that came from that. But the reality would have been, if I'd had access to my phone on that holiday, that even though I told myself that it was going to be a digital-free holiday and I was not going to check my phone, I would have just naturally done it. I would have checked my Shopify. I would have checked my YouTube statistics. I would have checked when new videos came out. There was a video that came out while I was away and it performed really poorly. It actually started performing well after about a week, but it performed really poorly for the first 48 hours when I checked the analytics like a week later. And that would have put a damper on my mood. And it shouldn't at all, because who cares? The difference between 1,000 and 5,000 views is like $4. It's like, who cares? Who cares? I've got as many subscribers as I could ever need, and I'm making the content that I love, and you guys are supporting my Shopify. I'm in a good place in life. So it is all a matter of perspective in life, because being away from my phone for that long was quite a transformative experience in the moment. And I left that holiday journaling. Like, I completed an entire puzzle book. I read Fellowship of the Ring front to back. I left that holiday feeling like I was a changed man. And then the second I got back to work, I got as stressed as I've always been. And I'm just trying to break free of it. This is why I'm making this video. I think these videos are always, I mean, I know I hear from people, they're always helpful for some. And I'm just trying to break out of this crazy cycle, because life is literally a matter of perspective. Unless, obviously, there are horrible things that happen every day, but like there are beautiful things that happen every day. Like I found with anxiety for a particular situation, if I have 10 days, or let's use back pain for an example. I used to have a lot of back pain, don't anymore because I work out, but I used to have a lot of back pain. And when I would have like a week without any back pain, and then I would have one day with back pain, and it would just throw my mood completely. Like, F this is horrible, I'm in so much pain. But at the end of the day, I didn't focus on the 7 days before where I had no pain. Same with anxiety, same with anything. It's like, don't count the bad days. There's a quote I was reading recently. Be happy when you're having a bad day, because a good day is coming. Be happy when you're having a good day, because it's better than a bad day that's coming. I don't know, there was something like that. You get what I'm saying. I'm not quoting word for word, but that's the real point of this video. BS is always around the corner. There is always someone that is trying to put you down, and you have to rise up and respect their wishes and do what you need to do, but move forward in a positive way, because I would like to think that at this point, there is nothing that's gonna squash my spirits. I love this community. I love Halo Mega Blocks, and I love data archiving. Like, I love I have a newfound passion for preserving this information, and I've made a lot of new friends through this passion of preserving information. Shout out to my new channel members, Ethan Greenhaw and Jaden Ayers. I'm going to have a really cool video of a retro original, like 2009, 2010 Mega Bloks haul coming soon. I always try and do like just random, unedited, sprawled videos for channel members. They're not something that like everyone else is missing out on necessarily, but they're just like a fun bonus to thank you for supporting me. So Fall of Reach trading cards. Why don't we go check that out? I hope you enjoyed. Let me know down below if you made it to this point. And yeah, I will continue to look forward with a positive light, because I deserve that. I respect myself, and I think it's the only thing that can be done at this point. So thank you so much for tuning in. Let's check out the Fall of Reach, baby. All right, so this is the Fall of Reach winners, and they just look so beautiful. This is not the final designs, because there's going to be some like small adjustments made by some of the artists, but they look so beautiful as a set, and I literally can't believe there's only 18 sets left. It's insane. So basically, I'm going to talk you through what I've done so far, because I'm really happy with these designs. This is what you can see when I'm talking about the smooth edges. I think they're going to look really good as a set, you know? They're going to look like they really shine. And you might notice that there's a nice gradient going on here. So I started with like a basic gradient system where I wanted the gradients to all be slightly different, because I wanted to mimic the silver that you find on Pokemon cards, like New Generation English or the Japanese ones. But I was like going for random gradients, and then I realized like I could do something with light sources. So I basically drew all the different light sources for all the different shots, and I tried to think about where the light was coming from. And this is what I ended up going for. I created different gradients, these radial patterns for everywhere that, you know, there's a dark area, so the white can pull through as natural light, and it gives this really nice effect where there's shadows in the shadowy areas, and then the light pulls through from the sides. And I think that will just really accentuate the actual cards when they end up getting printed. You can see with this example, the shadows on the two corners, and that gives more white light to the areas that have explosions happening. On this one, you have more of a line gradient at the bottom, because, you know, there's mainly just open sky there. I think it looks really good. There's a bit of darkness towards Carter in this one, and for Halo Bricks' entry, a lot of light in the explosions around, but then a dark shadow creeping in from the corner there. Yeah, pops it off. This one I did 2 different lines, one to cover this really dark side of the Falcon, and then this corner to, you know, just that tiny bit by the shade turret, so there's a lot of light pulling in everywhere else, where the reflections, you know, hitting the sun directly off the top of the Falcon. The George Demarcation Media's entry, there wasn't really much light, only reflected off this Falcon, so I added a pooled light source, this radial effect in the corner there. This one is one of my favorites because it's a angle, right? You can see in the background there the angle of the base. I wanted to make sure that darkness happened, you know, on either side, but came across at an angle. I'm still not sure if I can actually get these edges, because bleed edges are something really scary with printing, but I'm going to send some samples off. I'm going to test one of them first. This one I love so much because the light pools in. I added tons of different layers to this one, and you can see it literally just comes in from above, and then it's darkness on this really bleak scene everywhere else. The same with this cave. You have darkness on the canopy and the base of the cave, but then you have light flowing through the middle. I just think they look really nice, and they're maybe going to be the designs for the back. I'm not quite sure yet, but yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what I should do differently, and get your pre-orders in because there's only 18 left. Really hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was all over the place, but I had a consistent message I wanted to get across, and I think I did it pretty well. So shout out to you all. Stay awesome, stay safe. Domain out.